Hey, you guys. I know it's been a couple days. Well, I say it's been about a week since I last spoke to you guys. I I mentioned before that I'm putting more energy into my business, so I've been trying to rearrange that. I've been getting some of my supplies out the way. I got my flooring. I got a wood floor. Um, it's not really wood, it's foam, but it looks like wood. I'm waiting on other props to come. So yeah, that part is going really good. Um, Sorry about that. Let's get straight to it. So, a couple days ago, um, DMX passed, and I'm okay with it. He lived his life. Of course, I'm not his immediate family, so I can only love the artist he was, which I love the artist he was. I was playing his music outside of everything that just happened. Once he was hospitalized, I was already playing the music. And it's bittersweet to lose a person like that because he was genuinely himself. He didn't hide his flaws. He didn't try to be what everybody wanted him to be. He stayed himself throughout his whole career. And I always loved that about him. He During this process I realized, like, coming from the 90s and the music we come from and how we grew up, and I seen it on social media, everybody posting their love for him. And I completely understand. I felt this one because I was a DMX fan outside of all of what's going on. I've always been a DMX fan. I've had albums, like real CDs. I'm from that era with having CDs, and had, I want to say, all but two. I had Flesh in My Flesh. I had The Great Depression. I had and then there was X. That's my favorite album. I listened to that to clean up like every week. So yeah, it hurts my heart to know that that soul will no longer be here. Like, when the verses happened, how I was excited, bro. Like, that was one of the best verses. I was in my car geeked, and I was on break, loud at work. And yeah, it kind of touches home because people battle and deal with so much that they try to hide from the world, which is understandable because it's a cruel world. And sometimes we try to change our imperfections, but honestly, some of our imperfections is what make us who we are. I know I myself tried to quit drinking. Well, I did. I'm not gonna say try to quit drinking. I did quit drinking for a year. I haven't touched a bottle in a little over a year. As of January, it has been a year, and I'm still drink free now. I did start back smoking. To each their own. I mean, I had to think back in that time when I was that teenager. I started drinking when I was 12. I hit my first blunt when I was 11. No cap. My cousin introduced me to weed. The whole house was partying. My mom was pregnant. And it's like, bro, we gotta deal with all this. Our house was a party house, so that's how I got access to the things I got access to. My Like I said, my cousin introduced me to it. All my auntie boys was smoking at the time. Well, I ain't gonna say all but her youngest. Me and her youngest son is like 1 year older than me. Me and him the same age, so he wasn't into that type of stuff. But because we seen the party going on and we kids trying to be grown, we puffing and sipping with them. Now, I did drink more than I smoked because it seemed like I got high faster, and I did. But it was it was that era in the 90s. I was young in the 90s. I'm an 80s baby. I've came from so much, and realizing that, it's like, when you think music wise, DMX was our biggest influence. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but in my world of where I come from, that talk about loyalty, I heard that on uh Flesh in My Flesh or Blood. I forgot the name. I don't know if I said that right, but his first album was how I learned about loyalty. How he talks so passionate about it and what he done that he wasn't proud of, but that's he had to survive. Uh, his very first album, my cousins was getting into the rap industry, and one of them broke down the radio and put it back together. And the first thing they recorded, they had this tape that they was recording on, and he hooked up the radio, the regular radio, put the tape in it. Then he hooked up the radio he put together, and he played DMX first album, the whole album. And he recorded it on the tape. Back then we had tapes. Rewinded with the pencil, and we played the tape back of how he recorded it. And as he recorded it on this tape, we would listen to the tape and write the lyrics down so we could know them. And then as we played the tape back, we would write down and we would read off like we was rapping everything we wrote down. If we got it wrong, we go back, we write the right words, and that's how we learned DMX. From that first album, I believe two of my cousins became DMX fans. I know I did. Watching them go through that experience, I did. And it was fun times, like trust. Listen to him talk about trust. Like I felt him so much because some of his pains was my pains. Being broken as a kid is like true, but I turned it to drinking more than I turned it to smoking. But it's still a bad habit that can kill you. And yeah, I relate as a woman. I can't fully relate to him as a broken man, but some of the tragedies and the shit he felt and how he went through life, yeah, that's what pretty much gave me my mindset. Like, loyalty has been big to me. Everybody that's tried to teach me anything taught me about loyalty first. Hearing the rappers, the hard rappers that was real, they talked about loyalty more than anybody. Knowing that you can be you can be this kind of a person and still be attached to God. Like, you don't have to have no image, you don't have to live no certain type of way to have a relationship with God. Like, I learned that from DMX. To live in my flaws. Like, everybody ain't gotta know your business, but don't hide who the fuck you are. I learned that in the 90s, being young. Listen to the men around me. The men around me was really heavily influenced by DMX. Like, they had a New York mentality around us. And I don't think I met one person from New York technically, but I don't think anybody in our immediate circle was from New York. We was just that's what we were influenced by. And yeah, to think back on all of that, like to hear certain songs and it take you to that place in the 90s of where you was or what you was doing, hey, that's really big in my world. I mean, I seen the status that said kids, this new generation coming up, would never understand how big of an influence DMX was, and I could agree with that. Outside my household, the kids don't know. It's like, yeah, they all clout chase and they do things because that's what it is. It's better to clout chase and say you know somebody and to fit in than it is to be yourself. My kids, on the other hand, some characters, because my 13-year-old will be 14 this year, but right now she's 13, and when she seen it, she was like, "Ma, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right. What you talking about?" She was like, "They just it's all over my TikTok that DMX passed away. Everybody saying R.I.P DMX. I was just coming to make sure you was all right because I know you listen to him." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right. It touches me, but I'm a big girl. I can deal with my feelings. I He's one of those older people where he lived his life so great and to his fullest that it's sad to lose them, but you know that they are at peace because they did all of what they wanted to do. Even though he left here young, he did everything he wanted to do. He experienced everything he wanted to experience. And I don't know if they knew it or not, he was a great impact, whether they showed it or not. I loved him to this day. I still love him. I still listen to him. And to think like my kids get older and music change, when it changes to whatever the music gonna be then, they get to listen to that. They get to figure out the lyrics. My daughter's like, I'm offended. They keep saying we don't know anything about DMX. I know a couple of his songs, and I'm not talking about the ones on the radio. And I'm like, well, that's because you're my child. Everybody doesn't have me as a parent. But then when I'm playing, like I'm cleaning up and I'm playing the DMX that I normally play. And on my playlist, anybody could get my phone, type in anything from New York. DMX gonna be on that whole list, like 8-9 songs off albums, not even the ones off the radio. I'm talking about album songs. It's gonna pop up automatically. When I'm cleaning up, I'm playing it, and what do I hear? My kids rapping some of the songs. It blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, what? Y'all really know this, or y'all just pretending? And it's like, no, they know this. They know the words. Like other songs I play, because I listen to Nas, I listen to Lauryn Hill. I listen to the new age stuff because I have a teenager and I love music. But going back, I stay in 90s rap. I stay listening to what I listened to coming up. When I was watching the Dope Boys on the Block and all the stuff they used to play, and it used to be bangers from the Snoop Dogg, from DMX to Nas to Jay-Z. Like, those were our influences. The whole New York movement was very big in our era. Coming West Coast, when we talking Warren G, Nate Dogg, like those are the things my father used to listen to, because he's a Southern person. So when he did listen to rap, he had the Too Shorts, the DJ Quicks. So when I throw on mine, my dad's favorite two rappers, no lie, was Ghostface and Too Short. He listened to Twister and E40, but he loved Too Short to the fucking fullest, and that's what it was in my household. Me cleaning up and I want to listen to rap. Hey, get some gin and juice popping. Get some Tonight by DJ Quick popping. Like, DMX gonna always be played on my radio. I don't care. Just like Michael Jackson. My son came to me and said, put on Michael Jackson, like he has met the man and he knew the songs I was playing. But anywho, I had to get that out because I haven't really had no one to talk to about my experiences of being a fan of DMX and learning that he's no longer here. With that being said, I hope everybody have a good day, enjoy their day, and stay positive within their day. Talk to you guys later.